welcome to IR Talks, a discussion by students of international relations. In this video, we will be discussing the two main events that took place, which is the Treaty of Westphalia and the Hague Peace Conference, and make connections between main and sub-IR theory.
So what is the significance between these two events in relation to international relations?
Okay. The two significant events, namely the Treaty of Westphalia and the Arrey Conference, were responsible for concluding the 30 and 80-year wars, that's for Westphalia. And the Hague Peace Conference, formulated for reasons of promoting peace and conflict resolution among countries with disputes. Hence, this has brought forth in the present day the birth of the modern day systems of established principles for state sovereignty, also promoting diplomacy in and among countries for a means of peaceful coexistence, thus influencing the shift in international diplomacy for international relations among countries.
So, from the two events mentioned, what are some of the international relations theories related to the events?
There are about four international relation theories related to the events. Number one, realism. Two, liberalism. Three, constructivism. Four, liberal institutionalism. According to Eagle and Palace 2015, it states that in international relations theories are important because they do two things. Firstly, they provide a framework to help scholars and students analyze state behavior, conflict, and cooperation.
Secondly, they guide the foreign policy decisions of states, diplomats, and international organizations by shaping how they approach peace building, security, and multilateral relations.
So how does this theory and the sub-theories link to the events mentioned?
So the first theory is the theory of realism. The theory of the Treaty of Westphalia connects to the Treaty of Realism because it establishes the idea that each state is sovereign and should act on its own national interest, which is a key belief in realism. Before the Peace of Westphalia in 1648, powerful empires like the Holy Roman Empire control small states and make decisions for them. Therefore, all the states come together to negotiate to protect their own economic and territorial interests. Although the process was painful and slow, according to History Skills 2014. And basically, the Hague Peace Conference aimed at settling rules for warfare and conduct among nations as per Vedantu 2025. The guidelines discussed in these conventions were largely based on the Labor Code originally signed by the US President Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War to regulate soldiers' behavior in war conventions. So although really sees the world as anarchy, states follow these codes to protect their own security and interests.
Constructivism. According to constructivism, the United Nations and the League of Nations are not just places where countries put their own interests. They are also social changes where countries learn, say and agree on the new ideas, rules and the ways of acting with each other. Stated on Monday 1992, the League of Nations, constructivists see the League of Nations not just as a failure, but as an important first step in the changing how countries work together. After World War I, it introduced the new idea of collective security, meaning that if one country was attacked, all others would see it as a threat to them too. So this was different from the old ways of thinking where countries only look out for themselves. Even though the League didn't last, it helped start new ways of thinking about peace cooperation and solving problems without war, ideas that later became stronger in the United Nations. The second is the United Nations. The United Nations is a strong example of an organization that helped create new global rules. It's not just for politics, but also a place where ideas like human rights, self-determination, and responsibility to protect and discuss are shared. Stated by Bellamy in 2009, the United Nations shape how countries see these roles and responsibility. Instead of using force, it helps change how countries behave over time by promoting shared values and ideas through its work like peacekeeping and passing resolutions, stated by Bennett in 2004.
For the theory of liberalism, the Treaty of Westphalia is connected to liberalism because, as stated in Osiander 2001, it introduced the idea that each country has the right to govern itself without outside control. This idea of sovereignty became important for later liberal thinking about freedom and equality between nations. The Hague Peace Conference also linked to liberalism because they focused on solving disputes through talks, treaties, and international laws instead of war, as stated in Best 1983. These meetings showed the liberal belief that problems could be fixed with reason and agreed rules rather than fighting. Together, Westphalia helped put forward the idea of state sovereignty, while the Hague Peace Conference pushed for global cooperation and peace. This shows how liberalism grew from protecting state independence to building systems for peace between nations.
So from the theories mentioned, the last theory identified is liberal institutionalism. So according to Johnson and Heiss 2018, it states that liberal institutionalism assumes that domestic and international organizations facilitate cooperation and peace among countries. The theory of liberal institutionalism connects to the Treaty of Westphalia, the Hague Peace Conference, and United Nations through its emphasis on cooperation, legal norms, and institutions. For the first one, the Treaty of Westphalia, it is connected to liberal institutionalism because it establishes state sovereignty, which is a core principle for liberalism. The Hague Peace Conference promoted peaceful dispute resolutions and international law reflecting liberal faith in diplomacy. And for the United Nations, which embodies liberal institutionalism by fostering collective security, international cooperation, and institutional mechanism to maintain peace and stability global.
According to the events that I mentioned, what is the significance between the higher theories and these events?
The Treaty of Westphalia, which was signed in 1648, marked a turning point in European history and laid early foundation for liberal international theory. By ending the 30 Years' War, it introduced principles that resonate with liberalism, sovereignty, religious tolerance, and institutional governance. Westphalia allowed churches to coexist, protecting minority rights like immigration and freedom from forced conversion. This reflects liberalism's core belief in individual liberty and civil rights. It also empowered imperial estates to help decide on war and peace, limiting absolutist rule and promoting shared governance, a key liberal value. The recognition of independent states like Switzerland and the Netherlands reinforced the liberal idea of equal, autonomous actors in the international system. Finally, the negotiations themselves were a milestone in diplomatic innovation, emphasizing compromise and multilateral engagement tools. Liberalism sees as essential for peace, conflict resolution. Though liberal theory emerged later, Westphalia provided the historical blueprint it would build upon. International Law and Peace Statements 2002.
Are there any international organizations present in PNG and other regions?
Yes. We have in terms of international organization operating in PNG, we have K International. K basically stands for the cooperative, for assistance and relief everywhere. The K International Organization was founded in 1945 after the World War II by the Americans. The purpose for K International was to address the devastation and the scarcity of war in Europe, in European countries. So, coming back to PNG, Kerry International entered the country in 1989, and one of the policy, that important policy that the Kerry International is implementing in the country is the WAS policy, the government's WAS policy, and they're based in Mount Hagen as well as autonomous region of Bougainville and other Pacific Island countries as well.